Strategia digitale. Idee, novità e consigli per imprenditori e professionisti appassionati di web marketing e business online. A cura di Giulio Gaudiano.
Ben trovati da Giulio Gaudiano e benvenuti in una nuova puntata di Strategia digitale. Oggi facciamo un'intervista con un personaggio interessantissimo. È un amico che ho conosciuto a San Pietroburgo durante un evento al quale sono stato invitato da SEMrush, e passando questi giorni insieme a San Pietroburgo ho avuto veramente la gioia di conoscere una persona con delle vedute ampissime su quello che è il digital, il marketing, la comunicazione. Tra poco si presenterà, l'intervista che gli farò sarà in inglese perché lui non parla italiano ma è di Amsterdam. E secondo me sarà per voi l'occasione di conoscere una persona veramente speciale. Prima di conoscerlo voglio ringraziare tutti i produttori di questo podcast di Strategia Digitale, coloro che hanno scelto di finanziare in prima persona, quindi di fare qualcosa di concreto per portare questo podcast sia a livello qualitativo che quantitativo a sempre più persone e sempre verso nuovi risultati. E questo podcast vive grazie ai produttori, vive grazie a coloro che tra voi ascoltatori hanno scelto di investire $3, $5, $10, 50, $100 al mese per far vivere questo progetto di divulgazione digitale. Allora, se pure voi volete diventare produttori di questo podcast, non c'è nient'altro da fare che andare su umediaweb.com/finanzia. Ma ora bando alle ciance, come diciamo sempre, è arrivato il momento di conoscere il nostro ospite misterioso e soprattutto di scoprire come si mette su in piedi una strategia di visual branding. Hello Arnaud, how are you?
Hello, Giulio. How are you? I'm good.
I'm very good. I'm happy for you to being here, and I would like to start introducing yourself. Or I would like you to introduce yourself to our listener.
Okay. Well, I'm Arnold Hellemans. I'm a freelance online marketeer from Amsterdam, working for several companies, worldwide companies. I even work for an Italian brand and loads of other things. My specialities are in SEO and analytics, and I do a lot of research on visual branding and the impact of visuals on conversions, on basically everything. So I'm really interested in the psychology behind the things you can do and how you can target on the web. I've been doing it for about 10 years as a freelancer, and really enjoy what I'm doing. So that's
very good, very good. Arnaud, you are when I think of you, I think of like a digital explorer, because you are very curious people interested in these philosophical aspects of digital media, psychology, behavior of people using digital thing. And it's very interesting what you explained to me during the event in St. Petersburg about your visual branding strategy on Facebook. Can you explain what is this strategy? What is the idea behind this strategy?
Well, basically it started about 2 or 3 years ago at an event in Tallinn, where I spoke with a well-known psychologist who does conversion optimization. His name is Bart Schulz. He's a Dutch psychologist, and he's well known in the conversion optimization world. And he always, like any picture I would see of him, he'd hold his hands in like a weird fashion. So on every single page. Well, he was actually a really normal person. So I walked up to him and said, "Why are you doing that?" And he basically said, "If you don't stand out, you're a nobody." So I thought about this, and it is true. I mean, if somebody is falling off a picture or is in a different pose than all the others, those are the ones that stand out. So and then I talked a bit further, deeper into like what is the impact of visuals, and then he told me like people, the first thing they do when they meet people, they go and find references to it, and our brain can digest images and pictures far better than text or words or so that got me thinking, like, if I would just share 1, 2, or 3 or 4 pictures, like only those, so none, I've got 3 kids, so none of my kids or my wife, or it would just be my feet looking at an awesome place, or it would just be oysters, or it would just be my barbecue because I love barbecuing. So I was curious how long it would take, because on average, how many friends do you have on Facebook, Julio?
I think 100.
More than 100, I guess.
I don't know. I don't use a lot Facebook for personal purpose, to be honest. So just for business purpose, on my public page with thousands of people.
Okay. So what I'm going to say, like, I've got about 750, 800. But of those 800, you actually only meet 10%, I mean, 80 people a year on a regular basis. And that's like a lot. But then there's like 90%, which is almost 700 people you bump into once every, I don't know, 5 years. So those are the people that I did my experiment on. So I was wondering if by sending the same messages over and over, the same visual messages, so either be oysters or barbecue, and I also gave them an hashtag. So it's oyster time or Weber time. Great branding opportunity, by the way. But by doing that, I was wondering, if I talk to people and saying, how are you doing? So you always have to start a conversation. What will their reference to me be? And what I noticed after about 9 to 12 months, those people I bumped into and are friends with me on Facebook, they saw all these oyster pictures. So what they did as a counter question, they asked me, like, when are we going to have oysters? So I basically manipulated their mind by showing the same picture. So, and the next one would say, hey, dude, when are we going to have a barbecue at your place? I was like, okay, well, I don't know, whenever you want. But none of them actually asked, how are your kids? None asked, like, how are your wife? Are you still living in Amsterdam? Nobody did. So what it basically, to me, what it proves is that if you are consistent in the way you post things, so I spoke to an actor. So how could you do this in the real world? Say you're an actor and you want to basically have this image that you're really successful. Every time you do an audition, you take a photo and a selfie or just a photo of that place you're at the moment, or you check in at it and add a photo of that film studio or that agent you're working with, because people will then start thinking, oh, dude, you're really busy, so you must be successful.
Okay. Very interesting. While you were talking, I checked on my Facebook, the friends, and I got 775 friends, so a lot above above my perception. So it's interesting, and we got a lot of things in common. I love barbecue, I love oysters, and I got three daughters. You got 3 boys, I think.
No, 2 boys and a girl.
Very good. So we got a lot in common. It's very interesting for me understanding why you choose oysters, barbecue instead of events, or you doing speeches or something like that. Why you choose these images associated with free time more than with work time?
Well, that's basically because up until last year, I basically used Facebook a lot, and the predecessor, which was the Dutch social network, Hives. I used those a lot to stay in touch with my friends. So most of my audience was from that area. So it all depends on your audience, because you also want it to resonate with the audience. So in my case, me as a person, I love oysters, and I love barbecuing, and I think more people should be doing it because it's far healthier than cooking in loads of other cooking meat in like oil or butter. So
definitely.
So for me, it was also about creating this, I would almost say, image of myself enjoying life, because it also fits the, like, if you think about Facebook, what kind of medium is it? Is it for sad people? Is it for business people? Or is it for all the happy and, look, I'm having an awesome time people? I think it's the last one. So you want to fit in with that. So if I would share pictures of me speaking, it'd be more LinkedIn related, in my opinion, at least for my audience. So you always have to figure out what an audience is and where an audience is, that where you want to build your own brand.
Very
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, it makes sense, definitely. And in the last weeks, I'm talking in a lot of workshop about personal branding and branding promotion. Are all events, all workshop for small businesses. And I think that many times the people attending this workshop ask me is maybe there is a danger in creating a strong connection between the brand and the people behind the brand. What do you reckon about that?
In my opinion, the people are the brand. So if people are proud that if you're a brand and you employ people and the people are proud to work there, then this shouldn't be an issue, because those people actually are the core values of the brand. So, but as a brand, like, people sometimes ask me, like, what do you want me to share? You want me to be on Facebook and Instagram, but what should I be sharing? So I'm going to give you an example. Say you're growing roses. So you're a big rose grower. And actually, your main customers are not the ones that, they're the wholesalers. And those wholesalers will actually sell it to the florist. Agreed? So, but so all these florists, they want to tell the story where that rose actually came from. So what if you could actually take some pictures when you're in the greenhouse and saying, look, there's a 360 photo of all my roses that will be in the shops in 5 days. That is a part of storytelling that enables your customers, the florists, your end customers, basically, to tell the story about the rose to an actual consumer buying those roses. So that is an example on how to do this. But you could do it in loads of ways. But you have to think, like, people are really interested in the things as a small business you encounter. Like, I'd love to know how my bread is being made, and if something has a specialty. And one of my family friends, he's making patata friet. I don't know, is it patata friet? I don't know.
Patata fritta.
Yeah, exactly. And and he actually started showing those processes on how he makes them, and that he gets an award for being the one of the best in the Netherlands. And by sharing it on Facebook and getting other people to share it around, he actually got invited to Norway and to Ireland because people wanted his skills to open their own shop over there. So these are examples on how you can do this. Just share your daily experiences, but with a twist. Just don't and be, in this case, be really consistent. So like they're going to go in the oven and they're going to come out. Or when you make a mistake, then have that picture where your bread is all burnt. And it happens to the best. Those are hilarious pictures, and they become basically, they make your brand human. And so by sharing these kind of experiences, people are happy. If it fits the audience, like if it fits the people that like your brand on Facebook or your shop on Facebook, then awesome.
Yeah, very good. So we can, from what you are saying, we can just underline few keywords like personality, like authenticity as well,
definitely
humanity, better maybe, and consistency. And you say consistency many times.
Yeah, definitely, but also. The other thing is, if you're consistent in what you're posting and you post an inconsistent photo within, then the other part kicks in because it's always the same picture and suddenly there's a different one. So that also gets people to trigger and start interacting with that post. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
But don't try to sell. What you actually want to do is get people to that they know your brand, they know who you are, what you're associated with. So whenever bread comes up, they think of you, or whenever roses come up, they think about a certain rose, because you see, you need to associate yourself with the right things. But it all differs per vertical and per business. And, well, you can probably explain your listeners that it all depends. But the core value is, so I would never restrict the people. I would like to create a culture where everybody is okay sharing my brand because they trust me as a brand and they love working for me. But maybe that's the ideal world. But anyway.
Okay. Let's talk about other social media like Instagram or Twitter. Are you doing something on these other social media?
Yeah, definitely. Well, for me, Twitter is my main social media. So as I just explained, you've got Twitter, you've got Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. And for me, Facebook is mostly friends, family and friends, and a few business people and people like you, friends. So that's where I do the experiment. Then on Twitter, that for me is business, not business. It's knowledge, because there's a lot of knowledge being shared on Twitter, and there's a lot of interesting discussions going on. If somebody breaks some news on a Google update or Amazon opening Amazon Go, and you get all these interesting discussions. And so what I did on Twitter, I changed my handle. And what I did, I took a big brand. I don't know if you know it. It's called Hellmann's. It's the mayonnaise and all the sauces.
I do.
You do. Well, you probably have it in Italy. And my last name actually is Hellmann's with an extra E, so it's Hellmann's. Exact. So I just photoshopped an extra E in, but I didn't make it look like really like a real brand. So you could actually see that there is some Photoshop going on. But since it's my avatar, I started doing that. And you know what happens? You get into all these discussions. Again, authenticity, and don't just retweet, but give your opinion on pieces and all that kind of stuff. And when you actually start doing that, you start interacting with actual people on the other side that are also in this discussion on Twitter. And then when you meet them in real life, they want to meet you. So they say, hey, are you here? And you go like, yeah, I'm here. But they can't see your face because it's the Hellmann's mayonnaise. So you have the element of surprise, but it also sticks with people because you're not normal. Like most people have their face as their Twitter avatar, and I just have a mayonnaise thing, which makes me stand out compared to the rest of the people. And that really helps me, basically get noticed. So when I introduce myself, I say, I'm Arnoud. And they go like, are you Arnoud as in Arnoud de Hellemans, as in the mayonnaise guy? So
okay.
in some cases, I'm actually being introduced as the mayonnaise guy. And this is purely an experiment. We just bumped into it. I'm just sticking with it. But when I become more popular, I probably have to take it down because of copyright issues. But it's just a little experiment I'm doing. So then again, if you're going to do it, basically create something like a cartoon kind of figure of your personality, or if you're a brand and Twitter is the place for you, create something which is unique but also tells the story.
And did you ever try to create merchandising with this brand, like a T-shirt or a mug?
No, not yet. No, not yet. But I might actually do it. Yeah, I should. Yeah, definitely. That's a good plan. I mean, planning to speak at more events next year, and it might be an interesting T-shirt.
Yeah. I can do the same here in Italy. There is a brand of mineral water called Gaudianello. So every time I spell my last name, I say Gaudiano, like Gaudianello water.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
So, and this is really an experiment we're going to. But I was most amazed by the effect. And you were asking for more. Well, the other is, for instance, Instagram. Instagram basically works the same way as... because most Instagram I also have on Facebook because it's owned by Facebook. And so I bet what I normally do is when I have a barbecue, I take a picture, I post it to Facebook, I cross-post it to... I post it to Instagram, I cross-post it to Facebook. So that you have it on both, to be consistent. And then again, if I would do it on Twitter... Twitter is not it's getting more visual, but it's not as visual as Instagram or Facebook. Yeah, so my advice, if you're going to do a personal branding and storytelling through pictures, then don't use stock pictures. Never use stock pictures. Take them yourself. Again, authenticity. And then when you take them yourself, then post them on the visual things. So you're really big on Snapchat. I'm not using it as of yet. So I haven't installed, but so it's probably, you can tell your readers something about the effects stuff like this would have on there.
Yeah, sure. Talking with you was very inspirational. Thank you very much, Arnaud, and see you later.
Thank you very much, and see you later. Cheers.
Siamo arrivati alla fine del nostro episodio, ragazzi. Che personaggio incredibile. Spero che sia stato pure per voi molto interessante, come lo è stato per me, anche perché queste cose delle quali ci ha parlato Arnaud sono all'ordine del giorno. Io per esempio mi sono accorto che semplicemente creando degli sticker per Telegram con la mia faccia ho suscitato delle reazioni pazzesche in quelli che mi scrivevano. Invece di una emoticon con l'omino, la faccetta con gli occhiali o la faccetta che dava l'ok, io ho cominciato a pubblicare la mia faccia con gli occhiali o la mia faccia che ride o fa la faccia triste, schiaccia fa l'occhiolino. Quindi ho visto l'impatto di queste cose che, per quanto stupide, apparentemente così scherzi da bar, hanno invece la potenzialità di differenziarci. Ecco, questa è una cosa molto importante del branding: differenziarci dalla marea di altre persone che sono là fuori e fanno la nostra stessa cosa. E se non fosse per il come lo facciamo e per il perché lo facciamo, no? I 5 elementi del personal branding: chi sei, che cosa fai, per chi lo fai, come lo fai e perché lo fai. Bene, se non ti differenzi su questi elementi, allora tanto vale che lasci perdere e ti butti lì nel supermercato globale digitale dove ogni prodotto è uguale all'altro e magari la leva del prezzo a farla da padrone. Ma ragazzi, siamo arrivati alla fine di questa puntata. Voglio nominare uno per uno i nostri produttori, perché veramente la mia gratitudine nei loro confronti è immensa, e sono Roberta Andreoni, Federico Izzi, Paolo Gollo, New Entry, Massimiliano Berto, Rosario Rizzo, Mary Pantone, Stefano 2.0, Erika Vagliengo, Mariano Lampis, Gianluca Gorlani, Maura Rizzo, Marco Bazzo, Daniele Risi, Web Karma, un'altra new entry, Federico Di Maggio e Marco Paolini. Ragazzi, stanno diventando tantissimi e stanno diventando sempre di più anche le recensioni. Volevo leggervi una recensione ma non mi si apre iTunes. Comunque ragazzi, grazie mille, e ve le leggerò nei prossimi episodi. Nel frattempo vi ricordo che per dialogare in maniera diretta con il sottoscritto potete andare su telegram.me/Giulio Gaudiano. Potete anche mandarmi domande audio e io rispondo in diretta. Un caro saluto a tutti e un ringraziamento di cuore a Sara Veltrico, autrice del programma, al nostro fonico Costanza Mineo e a Radiospeaker.it, curatore del nostro sound design. Grazie mille e alla prossima.
Strategia digitale. Idee, novità e consigli per imprenditori e professionisti appassionati di web marketing e business online. A cura di Giulio Gaudiano.